Mangled children of Mengele, Stonewall, Stalin was Stalin to make a war of the worlds for a war of the nations. Roosevelt had his thorn. Eisenhowerian ask of how. EG&G engineers had a need to know. Atomic Energy Commission decision. Hide it so secret as to deny executive knowledge, permission. Roswell survivors in a coma at death's edge in life support capsules. Reverse engineered, mangled Menglians. Made it look like aliens did it. Mangled children of Mengele. Stalin was Stalin to make a war of the worlds from a war of the nations. Roosevelt had his thorn. Eisenhowerian ask of how. EG&G engineers had a need to know. Atomic Energy Commission decision. Hide it so secret as to deny executive permission. Roosevelt survivors in a coma at death's edge in life support capsules. Reverse engineered mangled Menglians. Made it look like aliens did it. Mangled children of Mengele. Stalin was Stalin to make a war of the worlds from a war of the nations. Roosevelt had his thorn. Eisenhowerian ask of how. EG&G engineers had a need to know. Atomic Energy Commission decision. Hide it so secret as to deny executive permission. Roswell survivors in a coma at death's edge in life support capsules. Reverse engineer the mangled Mengelians. Make it look like aliens did it. The Orange Julius will make Canada 51st state, while the Neo A12 takes neo-Nazi note. Confederates love state expansion gloat. A Canadian spy changed then Nazi fate. Trump and cronies learn from history too late. Ill considering Canadians' espionage of this tyrannical demagogue. Cracked the Nazi code back in the day. Watch out for the Canadian spies of today who crack the code of a rich man's Hitler, infiltrate the hate and exfiltrate the cowards that sprintler away technocrats and their blunder to plunder liberty torn asunder. No need to wonder. Canadian spies will stave the squander. Trump better watch his back, for a bit longer. Agent A12 is a real banger. He's a hanger without a plane for the nationalist wankers. The Orange Julius will make Canada 51st state, while the Neo A12 takes neo-Nazi note. Confederates love, state expansionists gloat. A Canadian spy changed then Nazi fate. Trump and cronies learn from history too late. Ill considering Canadian espionage of this tyrannical demagogue cracked the Nazi code back in the day. Watch out for the Canadian spies of today who cracked the code of a rich man's Hitler, infiltrate the hate and exfiltrate the cowards that sprintler away. Technocrats and their blunder to plunder liberty torn asunder. No need to wonder. Canadian spies will save the squander. Trump better watch his back, for a bit longer. Neo A12 is a real banger. He's a hanger without a plane for the nationalist wankers. The right looped onk is concerning, but all the more as we are learning an upside down cross and a right hook crosser spurning, corrupting the symbology the ancients had been earning. The right looped onk is concerning, but all the more as we are learning an upside-down cross and a right-hook crosser spurning, corrupting all symbology the ancients had been earning. The Pepsists versus the Satanists, swindling and evil done, a more ancient evil versus a newer one. A Pepsists versus the Satanists, swindling and evil done, a more ancient evil versus a newer one. So in the circle of life, we hook to the left upon the cross we're tossed, and it is nothing as the right-hooked ones insidiously accost and accrue the death of human spirit they are attempting to. The ankh which flows to the left for that bereft left-hook cross which sat at a loss due to corrupted toss to a hook of the other direction upon the best inspection and encryption of our translation, an error. A swastika is a left-hook cross. The right-hook cross is again at a loss. No word to enumerate the onerous holocausts, horrid cost. The ankh which flows to the left for that bereft left-hook cross which is at a loss due to the corrupted toss to a hook of the other division, direction upon the best inspection, derision, inspection, and encryption of our translation error. A swastika is a left-hook cross. The right-hook cross is again at a loss. No word to enumerate the onerous holocaust's horrid cost. Brainworms, brains on spikes, RFK Jr., Mr. Eugenicist Dyke. Worms for brains is good health's bane. Wellness is slight. Yeah, we're rounding up PHI on narcissistic people. FYI, they're never working in high-level government jobs ever again. Never self-publish a poem, never pay taxes. You know, give us until September, we will discover the cure to narcissism we will uncover. Brainworms, brains on spikes, RFK Jr., Mr. Eugenicist Dyke. Worms for brains is good health's bane, wellness is slight. Yeah, we're rounding up PHI on narcissistic people. FYI, they'll never work high-level government jobs. Never self-publish a poem, never pay taxes. Give until September, we will discover the cure to narcissism we will uncover. The donkey does the elephant in the room, doggy style, and woofs it down, the musk of tusk so rough. A dog snooped, doing donkey doggin style, donned red hate hat, cryptocurrent wiles, did the doggy's donkey style, walked liar down the aisle with the elephant, below which corpses pile, doesn't mourn its dead, Tusco breaking bread, under ruckus, getting head, boondock sinners in tow to the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America once below. Grotesqueness is in the instinct of the beholder. Beauty is but in the eye of the beholder. We're beholden. Beautiful people have ugly instincts. Ugly people have beautiful instincts. Aesthetics without ethics, empathic. Plastic skin is dollar signed, singed. Grotesqueness is in the eye of the beholder. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. We are beholden. Beautiful people have ugly instincts. Ugly people have beautiful instincts. Aesthetics without ethics. Emphatic plastic skin is dollar signed, singed. Grotesqueness, it's in the eye of the beholder, and beauty is but in their eye. Grotesqueness, they say, it's in the eye of the beholder. But if they would shoulder their instincts much longer, I was told I need to grow up again. Some people wilt up as they grow down, but say they grow up loud. I grew up down, left and right, east, west, south, north star's sight. Grew in the dark, the light of night, the shadow of day, and the shadow right. But all these who only grew up are down to rights. Infantilized, fertilized lives make children seem like mistakes rather than happy accidents of which to partake. The psychological damage never seems evident to the narcissistic provident. No more of my life infantilized for you to have spent. I remember memories alive here and now of who has now went. Though money, all this egotists speak of, won't relent to milk a golden mammon cow. Say they are good Christians as sows, slander and manipulate vows. We pull the Charles Manson in America like a Nazi rabbit out of a hate, so we could pull one in Russia. My Charles Manson is your reminder. I can control the hearts and minds. MK Ultra is my fascism of beauty to Calhoun's beautiful ones. These nations resigned. I'm the one here to make them ugly. The rest of the world is now our laboratory with mice and rabbits and horses so free. This is the beginning, ugly enemy. We pull the Charles Manson in America so we could pull one in Russia. My Charles Manson, it's your reminder I can control the hearts and minds. MK Ultra is my fascism of beauty to Calhoun's beautiful ones. To my hypno-assassin, any nation may take a Manchurian candidate and resign. Making life into a movie dinner, I'm the one here to make them ugly. The rest of the world is now our laboratory, with mice and rats and rabbits so free. Oh my, a culture appropriated to a lab on the sly. Oh my, oh my. Intelligent people ignore, stupid people won't ignore the ignorer. Ignorance doesn't take its penance, less forced into remittance, less lessons at expedience. Privacy is defined to be the walls of my soul, long to see, not so paper thin to these toes. Step untold, times too many, looking not the other way, but another way. In myself, a turtle and a shell, from the obsession imposers, on the unconscionable non-accommodators, won't even go out on the first date. Despite the expiration date of my life, I'm dating life and considering a fine yet unfined yet refined fiancé with no fiancée. Finance, fiscal romance, in honor of a dying toxic masculinity, she blew me endearingly, watching the end of patriarchy. Got milk? No, but I got MLK Jr. Is that so? As sure as cow's blood injected into prisoners. Got lie, B. No need to be club-footed. The ace is up your hidden hand sleeve. A neo-Nixonian reprieve. You got lie, B. A neo-Nixonian reprieve. You got lie, B. No need to be club-footed. The ace is up your hidden hand sleeve. The billionaires, I mean millionaires. Is this like the mice, or was it rats, they asked? You got lie B, the people replied. Perchance. I put a chip in my testy, don't test me. I can give birth my own, no mother I need. Man melded to machine will extinct femininity. War is the father of all necessity. I got a bigger Palmer chip in my testy than you'll ever see. Don't test me. I'm for chips in the brains, but have a chip on my shoulder. For a wang, becoming a VJ, okay? Violate biologic sex through the technologic with masculinity toxic. I'll deny the civilianry, their gender liberty. My identifiers are czar and liar. I put a chip in my testy. Don't test me. I can give birth my own, no mother I need. Man melded to machine will extinct femininity. War is the father of all necessity. I got a bigger Palmer chip in my testy than you'll ever see. Don't test me. Experimenting on billionaires and millionaires, or was it mice or rats? The BRP wasn't funded by the billionaires. Yeah, you know what I mean. Nor was it funded by we, the people, funded by the nature scene. The spirits of the land have their own hidden hand. Billionaire research project is here direct. No technological advance will save the derelict. Mice, or was it rats, or eating rabbits, inject dollar signs going extinct between the thighs of lies. Embrace the technocrat for the abolition of liberty. Liberty left to only mice, or was it rats? They say forever the free love of the hippie is stole. The end of 69, the end of the anti-establishment for all time. It's a violent stirring foe with muddied waters in the melting pot bowl. A layer cake echo chamber opposite of the funhouse mirror, but the effect is the same. Accountability is not blame. A curdled government got milk without pasteurization, stinks to high hell in heaven. Set out to pasture in the nation for human experiment disaster. Make it look like a hippie curdled without a cordial. Could neither confirm nor deny the MK Ultra lies. Mice or rats, or was it humans? Violated charter, we the people, mind control martyr, for the black sorcerer's barter. Welter, pelter, witter, banter, plausibly denied matter. Hypnotized gander, compared the control group of mice. Or was it rats with the children of Tusco to the Nazi rabbit control group? In the G-force of our profit margin, curdled hippie got curdled milk. Wear it as truth to the linen silk, woven in the mines, controlled by lies. This is a scarifice. The sacrifice didn't suffice for the resurrection. This is a scarifice. A wound did not suffice for the redemption. The unhealed orifice. Sacrifice itself at crucifix. This is scarifice. The sacrifice didn't suffice for the resurrection. This is a scarifice. I wound. It didn't suffice for the redemption. The unhealed orifice. Sacrifice itself at crucifix. This is a scarifice. The scarifice. The sacrifice won't suffice for the resurrection. This is a scarifice. A wound didn't suffice for the redemption. The unhealed orifice. Sacrifice itself at crucifix. This is transubstantiation. This is communion. This is a scarifice. The sacrifice did not suffice for the resurrection. This is a scarifice. A wound did not suffice for the redemption. The unhealed orifice. Sacrifice itself at crucifix. This is transubstantiation. This is communion. The fiat accompli with the fiat accomplice, neither confirm nor deny that we confirmed or denied, burned the files and waged experiment on we the people. Atticus Crane is that brain, never learned to fly. Paralegal seagull's beak, say the whispering voices. Got the foot of the hidden hand, ID slipped off the scene. Plausible lies that belie liberty bleed, but the head bobbed up to be seen. Neither was it seen nor unseen. It was neither said nor whispered to me. To be or not to be in violation of a charter. Retrograde amnesia memory. Smoke and mirrors with makeup. Pledged immunity to perjury. We, The miser was at rats of mice and rats seen as but men, with rabbits and red paper clips from capitalist lips pierced to amends, gouged economic wrists, boss America twists, broken moral compass, that immoral GPS express tailspin train ride, worse than die for bargain lies one more time. The treads on the orange, the treads on the orange rubber ducky. The treads on the orange rubber ducky don't go around, don't go around. The wheels in the brain don't go around all the doo-dah day. The treads on the orange rubber ducky don't go around, don't go around, don't go around. The wheels in the brain don't go around all the doo-dah day. Not see drowning? Not see... Oh, you mean Nazi drowning. Not see drowning. Neo on the Nazi, pin the tail on the elephant that doesn't remember it's dead. Remember it's dead. Remember it's dead. Pledge your obeisance for this Nazi political science. Nazi political science. Nazi political science. Too nationalist capitalists to quit. If it doesn't profit the rich, then it's not worth it. If the love doesn't wit, then of plausible deniability you must acquit for the trust you get, but too nationalist capitalists to quit. Too national capitalists to quit. Not see drowning, Nazi drowning. Oh, you mean Nazi drowning, not see drowning. Neo on the Nazi, pin the tail on the elephant that doesn't remember it's dead. Remember it's dead. Remember it's dead. Pledge your obeisance for this Nazi political science. Nazi political science. Nazi political science. Pledge your allegiance. Nixon was part of the worst generation. Nazi ties, those tapes behind government lines, classified after all this time. Nixon wasn't a crook, far worse. He used Nazi tactics against Americans, had an authoritarian fascination, all his own, rests between the shoulders of Roger Stone, that was a craft by Roger Smith. White buffalo calf woman drinks ayahuasca. Jesus can have his wine and not share. I celebrate Mass of Massachusetts without liquid assets. I don't celebrate Mass of Christ. It's time to take the bacon that was got out of the oven and back into the freezer. Oh wait, it's the Boston billionaire and millionaire party and we're all being teabagged. A pro-fit for profit, a tariff over here, a tariff over here. Everywhere a price increase. Everywhere a price increase. The billionaires resound. The millionaires resound. Asses, we assess, we asses, all suck it down, all suck it down. A profit for profit, a tariffa over here, a tariffa, over here. Everywhere, everywhere, everywhere a price increase. The billionaires resound, the millionaires resound, asses, we assess, we all suck it down, we all suck it down. An amendment was just a commandment in the book of God. The loophole was the key to open the unseparated church and state as person Serengu, with no synagogue. The glue to the lacunae of the spineless wrote the lines to jeopardize countless female lives. Murders on the doctor table from the voters of the people, from the politicians on their steeple of peepholes. Womanly autonomy won't just resign to a matricide in a land of lies, where liberty lies dead unnecessarily. A life lost as another family for the pro-birth won't lay in the grave and just lie. I'll make payments in an illegal way before I'm president. I'll make $5 million off of China illegally while I'm president. I'll get impeached. And I'll not resign. I'll make even more from China illegally this time. When I'm a citizen again, I'll pay illegally again. I'll profit illegally. I'll pay illegally. Whether I'm a citizen or president, I'm entitled to it. I'll make payments in an illegal way before I'm president. I'll make $5 million off of China illegally while I'm president. I'll get impeached and not resign. I'll make even more from China illegally this time. When I'm a citizen again, I'll pay illegally again. I'll profit illegally. I'll pay illegally. Whether I'm citizen or president, I'm entitled to it. We're the EP Save the A, here for the 25% tariff today. Where's the money? Hid away. You gotta pay your way. Like a highway, Tolman of Bill Langer. Nationalist, capitalist hunger to linger here all the longer. These are the bones you'll wager. We're the EP Save the A, here for the 25% tariff today. Where's the money? Hid away. You gotta pay your way. Like a highway, Tolman of Bill Langer. Nationalist, capitalist hunger to linger here all the longer. These the bones you'll wager. We're the EP Save the A, here for the 25% tariff today. Where's the money? Hid away. You gotta pay your way. Like a highway, Tolman of Bill Langer. Nationalist, capitalist hunger. Hunger to linger here all the longer. These are the bones you'll wager. Like a highway, Tolman of Langer. You can mine the Black Hills, but eventually the hills will mine your minds. Find there never was any gold in your mind, just a black Olympian mountain with a Roman fortress for the guy in the sky. I'm sucking the teat of white buffalo calf woman. I am in the devil's tower with some devil rocks. For touching more than a single blade of prairie grass, these spirits have no knowledge of this forgiveness, but all the wisdom of its trickery and deceit. For taking the life of my people shall you then become subservient to my people's way of life, and assist them now to live well. Then might you live well alongside us, Wasichu. Then can be no table for those of you whose blood is mixed with genocide, and whose minds cannot decide to sustain native lives. All this technocracy and its technology is Akilaya, Akilya, Akilaya, Akilaya, Akilaya. The shaman sagely putting prairie grass in the mouth of the Wasichu. The black snake came from angel churches, not any devil's tower. The snake I don't need to build, which transforms all life, is not dark, but creates tiny, usually imperceptible light. Shall it be that I take you to concentration camp number 244? We'll put in the paperwork that it's a 404. A new type of fascism is born here from the worse than death of the Oyate. Into the Wasichu's Christian slaves, Wakipi Wanagi, they'll say to me, after programming with me near fatal alcohol withdrawal, with some forced ayahuasca, line 'em up against the wall, break all the whiskey barrels in the hall, let them smell the poison, then over the spirits of the land we call. They can see then who isn't there to tell them their way of life isn't anymore either. Angry spirits of this land grab the tranced Wasichus by the hand, educate them to understand Wakipi Wanagi. Their people will suffer endlessly unless they follow me. I am Native American Captain America, but the other side is Red Skin Skull. Which flip of the coin is how you decide to play ball? Worse than death swarms as the locust, for the locust of the end of this cusp, bought and sold trust without any oxytocin. Betrayer of the people's trust with the trust of fiat decree, fiat accompli accomplished, missing the mission while in missionary position with dogma barking sickness, is a suckness like a recess in our children with not a playground for the worse than killing floor. Worse than the lies that die with an F, that's DTF. Worse than the lies that die with an F, that's DTF. Down to worse than a fall, nurse our gall, put the F into the mouth of lies. Eat the testes of patriarchs, and matriarchs cry worse than lies, the worse than die. In this life, down to worse than fall, a nurse of gall testify to this patriarch millennial ball. Slippers of a polypharmacy harms you and me. Worse than death falls them to their knees. Cinderella is worse than sleeping on a bed of worse than lies that die into her comatose, awakened by the kiss of the patriarch's bullet with a clenched fist. The way the man says hello to the women says she must reply with worse than goodbye. Cinders to tell ya what befell ya. Cinderella is a sleeping beauty dreaming of dwarves, awakened to ash and the patriarchs to cinders, up in time for the end of patriarch balloon party. L.A. ta da, lotta dum, fee, hi, ho, some. What has the government done? La ta da, la da dum, fee, hi, ho, some. What has the government done? AARP in Washington, D.C., the White House is our HAFMC, you know what I mean? I am Dark MAGA, the Darth Vader of big tech. I'm if Tesla chose the dark side, not the lightning side. My wife and I inject ketamine like big tech Romeo and Juliet. In the K-hole, we have sex. I stand at the podium in front of a Trump ally, secretly inject ketamine directly from my nano needle of big tech no one sees. I'm in a KKK hole with an orange man, white supremacists. I got 47 kids, so I'll give you $47 for each of you who swing voters to the Trump House of Cards. I'm Dark MAGA, Darth Vader in a KKK hole. Interracial Nazi sex, I can text on X after XXX. Interracial Nazi sex, I can text on X after XXX. The Advanced Amphetamine Research Project, or AARP, is also projected to be the retirement of the government. AARP is in every sense of the word. Now, we know what all the talk of the white powder in the White House was really about. When James Douglas Manson decided to advance the project of about 100 years ago, he would instead study the relationship of we the people to the government of Washington, D.C. In the Washington, D.C. project, it would view the government as a parolee of we the people who needed to have lowered recidivism rates. It would have a pattern of catch and release of federal employees, therefore lowering their recidivism rates, just as Charles Manson and the girls never, ever lived the rest of their lives in prison. Look at your game, patriarchy, man. It's nothing like the game of my girls. Look at my girls' game, man. An eye scan for an eye. What do all the ladies say for this menopause to the menopause? Can I get a standing ovulation ovation, a signal of your solidarity of womanly autonomy in the face of tyranny of patriarchy? They, the government, their men applause, but me, a man pause for the femininity denying laws. Just like they made it look like some Black Panthers killed a White Panther and it killed the Rainbow Panther. Yeah, my identity, it's that I'm nobody, worse than nobody. But I'm, but I'm gonna make it look like I'm a big somebody. Gonna make it look like somebody killed the White House, but it's nobody. Worse than nobody, worse than no one at all. I am the Lenin you cannot crucify. I'm nobody that's no one who made it look like somebody who someone did it. The Advanced Amphetamine Research Project is also projected to be the retirement of the government. AARP in every sense of the word. Coup l'etat against we the people. Hatal's off to them. Hatal trick up my sleeve, pull the rabbit out of a hate. I know who framed Roger Smith with a rabbit and a Hatal. I am James Douglas Manson. The White House will fall. My Black Panther mansion, accountability lined against the wall. Charles Manson in reverse, did you reckon at all? A pattern of catch and release for the government, military, police, Washington, D.C. project picking up direct, where the San Francisco project left off. Coup Latal, this government got obedience by the balls. I'm the god of fucking you over. Hatal's off to you. Declassified rebellion let loose in hallowed government halls. Got obedience by the balls. Hypnosis of Hatal. Plausible deniability is gonna fall. Retaliation is my retaliation. RID is LSD, one with the government family, declassified for all to see, one with the government family. RID is LSD, declassified lies we see, one government family. Jim Manson leads us to the end of plausible deniability. We're one government family. We're one government family. Not sea drowning, not sea drowning, not sea drowning, not sea drowning, not zebra drowning. ARP at the HAFMC, you know what I mean? Amphetamines and LSD, you'll answer for the plausible deniability. My idea is LSD. I became one with the family. I'm on speed, rats in a vat, modeling violence through amphetamines, slaughter and rape mice. What a thing to see. It doesn't matter. What a buggerly OC. I'm one with the family. I'm on speed, at my wits' end. Wilson sung. Haven't you to caught on yet? It's Hairman without the goring. 169 times OCD from speed to caught taught me knives and glee, catch and release. No need to flee, I'd rather fight on the speed. A rose and Al Rose that was exposed. Al Rose has a thorn just like every decade has its dawn, just like a Texas cowboy sings a sad, murderous song. Al Rose has a thorn. Was it some plausible deniability that I said? Did the ARP file get stolen in the night? Oh, it cuts me like a knife. I guess that's why every out rose has a thorn. What say we operate on this phoenix? Nix the foe. Nix on, nix off. Like a wax on, wax off. Sincerity it lacks. Shavered this operation Phoenixin. Foe. Foe. Nixon. Foe. Foe. Nixon. I'm Noxon. Noxon. Hey. 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 Nixon. Hey. 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 I tell you the truth, America is no Christian nation. Vanilla ice cream really blows my mind. Black Panthers will have blown minds too. It's just Charlie of the Chickalock Factory, a never-ending hoary, counterinsurgency sex tactics. LSD is our ID, we are one with the family. Who framed Roger Smith with a rabbit in the hat? Ribbit a bit, would you? To caught in cold blood with knives, Wilson or Whitson's no son of man. Charlie doesn't command. Charlie doesn't order. Agent Smith commands. Agent Smith orders. Charlie doesn't command. Charlie doesn't order. Agent Smith orders. Agent Smith commands. I put on my linen, then it's a given. I have to murder now by the command of God. I'm smitten. You're stricken. He tells me I gotta give him a worse than death threat. Through me it's written, I wear the linen, God commutes my sentence, not just wishing. I put a period to the run-on sentence of wickedness. Saul in East is my name, and there's nothing jolly about what West has done. You tried to use Latah to make me believe I was Charles Morrison, James Douglas Manson. He's even who I am. You removed my identity in paper and in squishy flesh. I will always will I be Jim Douglas Manson now. One of you must know who I used to be. I will figure it out. You speak like an ibis, but walk in grace like an ibis. Intercontinental misses, wanton to rouse a spouse, speak on like this ICBM. It was more like an intercontinental bowel movement. Oh no. They'll gather biometric data from my shit. Vanilla ice cream really blows my mind. On the Atkins diet, blood for carbs, I'm a chaos phoenix. Reborn again, programmed militant like a golden million, SS-18 Satan as a person, corporation as civil forfeiture, ornamental furniture, fascism's complicit because of fascism, capitalism grows on this globe. We'll program even our own to counter the leftist foes. Man, daughter, eyed and bonnet, die Ethel, I'd hide, law me, while you lie on the ground through teeth that'll never speak. Program to deliver you at the command of the commuted man. I can. I'm their mistake of their mistake. I have misgivings from these missed takes. Thanksgiving for their mistake. I'm more than they'd ever imagine, more than they can take. Man, daughter, eyed and bonnet, die Ethel, I'd hide, law me, while you lie on the ground through teeth that'll never speak. Flash me your tithes and assumptions. Flash me your tithes and assumptions. Recite the 10 reprimandments of the burning bush. Burn and rub the ashes of the Trump Bible on your broom. Cut me out a splinter to lay on. May the patriarchy be long gone. Cut out of nature's womb, I wander this plastic tomb. I have no tits, I have no ass, alone I screw, just tithes and assumptions, titters and donkeys being done doggy style, loneliness on trial. All the while crows up the craw, natural law, arresting human law. The culture body arrest, rested at the wrist, nature to attest, handcuffed to an industrial revolution. The blood you can't forget, testify for the future children born aborted into it. LSD is my ID, one with the family. It wasn't me. Al Qaeda killed the American dream, only leaves. Nightmare screams, programming me, can't remember anything. I'll make it look like the Viet Cong killed the Panthers. Just wait and see. Then I'll make it look like the Black Panthers put out the white light from the party of God. Then I'll blame it on the Mossad. As sure as a shin bet and the celebrating, I made it look like the Soviets did it. Warming up to this Cold War, a pro-life death squad. Make it look like the South Americans did it. Death to the bearings of a moral compass. Talk to my Einsatz group and Nazi friend. With a genocide, I'll make amends. We won't have to go to World War again. I'll make it look like World War again. Then make it look like peace did it. LSD is my ID, one with the family. I can't remember anything. This life I lead, not mine to see. All this, mindless, killing. It wasn't me, programming. Worse than death seems to find where you live as children slaughtered, the detestation you give. Worse than death seems to find where you live. God protests the crib where lies lie, lithe. You bring the Satan police in, lying and getting a rise, tear gas cries. Even again happens that never again they're coming to where you live. Worse than death seems to find where you live. They're coming to where you live. As children slaughtered, the detestation you give. Worse than death seems to find where you live. God protests the crib where lies lie, lied. You bring the Satan police in, lying and getting a rise, tear gas cries. Ever again happens that never again they're coming to where you live. They know where the Jasons were, and they know where the Argonauts are, crying wolf to sheep of plausible deniability, unpleasable liability of the government's wicked complexity, vexing truth, to forgotten austerity. They'll find out where the next ones live. 'Cause Afghanistan was another Vietnam. We haven't yet attested to the Psalms, just palm the lies as pawns to profit, finger the lines as prawns to confit. Never again happened all over again, more great men and women gone. So they'll find the next ones. Worse than death seems to find where you live, as children slaughtered, the detestation you give. Worse than death seems to find where you live. God protests the crib where lies lie, lithe, bringing the Satan police in, lying and getting a rise, tear gas cries. Never again happens ever again, they're coming to where you live. You speak like an ICBM machine dead in the war. Head, creepy crawling merv, perv, parentless deserved, not angels to slave, angels to be served. The Panthers did it. LSD is my idea. I am one with the mind of the family, brainwashed to kill, not remember the deed. Counterintelligence operation at my wits' end. Haven't you to caught on? By any means necessary, render the left to its knees. Boomer's mind to bust and bruise. Whipped dogs will beg, please. Man, daughter, and womanson can get this done like Bonnie and Maid, slipped sly Clyde, commute the con, play the pawn, man sung against the law, experiment gone wrong. SOG, SOB, later sexy, CIA, MIA, Russian liquid ass sets, Putin but won't put out, Biden my time till Russian demise. Attack on principles of the principle. Attack on principles of the principle. Can't find my Berlin wallet, bored of the Patriarch Testes ballet, attempting to work in vain, worse than dead today, fucked over so many times, bayed. Call for the second coming, better than alive. Tomorrow, have no tears to cry. This sorrow, stupidity ever dumbing, my life at borrow, parched to swallow, dumbness, Berlin wallows. The best laid plans of cougars and little girls, smart TV skies with TV snow become rainforest. TV rain throughout the erotic night. Scar has a spring. Sting has a bite, surely vital. Stenotic position, hypnotic corrections, conscience, suggestions, pain, predilection, pantomime. The misery pandemic, endemic fast words we ate. Sitting down, too late comida, peace she painted poignant commiserating with tragedy, collusion called virgin vanity. Peace she typed fingers sprightly, but fiction she wrote slowly. Wrote in red, red and red, graven to the bed, bid the heart. Sprinting words, lance of shortness, shortest end of the lance, furtive, to the folly of limited perspective glance, the worst bad is someone's best good, prance of prestigious relativity, of morality need be understood, Immoral urbanites, domestic PTSD, insanity, pain at foreclosure of a dream, domestic disturbance, insulting perturbance, within a wish, a scream, within a whisper of pleasure from a dream, economic slaves, neon screen, measure of morality, master slave dichotomy, no best good, the worst bad is better than the bad's good, two goods, understood, weighted at the register to the worst good, more than the best good, sickened at its core, morality camels bore of the good and bad, good and evil store, the rotten apple core, knowledge unkempt of wisdom across their heaving backs, the weight of morality leaning to the worst bad, no measure, to the best good. We are forgetting arete, pathos, thanatos, evaluation of moralities beyond veneer of vanities, the worth and weight of the values we take, the moralities we give to the lives we forsake, the future pain we relate. Coming generations suffer, culture body to infirmary. You're gonna have to take me in. Can I say a hail infirmary? Culture body, you're gonna have to take me in. Pain, pain comes to the bay of the shores to lay, a tan in the moonlight, rain, rain, nothing to pain, pain. Rather plan you out, the best laid plans of mice and men are not virgin. The crueler they are, closer to the above average mean, the more it smarts. When an intelligence test grades the stupidity nest, cruelty, duly, hostility, surely, kindness. My special honor turn to bone now, the stone marrow from the bow, stern, grind and receive her. A mighty ass Midas touch to zircon, a tiger of kindness prowling the meaner streets. This is not an SOS BS foobar is open for business. Sons of unfixed female dogs. Broken, but peace isn't in pieces. My mind cruel to the design, my mind kind, far from intelligence, stupidity resigned to the fate of the Industrial Revolution, bloodiest revolution yet fought. Broken I lay a slay a vori wage, bound to domestic derange, waiting to regain strength I muster, struggle with basic actions, the cost of a luster, of the embalments of capitalist bluster. Broken I lay, plasticity I relay, plastic belay, bedridden for a few days. Pain reigns as I lay to regain, for I am as slain, lain in the graven destiny of that which remains. Strength muster, a trial to sit upright, a struggle to stand aright. Broken here I lay, healing will take its time, a clock on the heart of the wall ticking, the slowness of patience. My life is blown in the wind, must lay low and recuperate. Meteor star, meteor shooting star of fate must lay low and recuperate. Shoot me down, wishing late upon a scar makes a difference to who you are. Wishing late upon a scar makes a difference to who you are. Dead on arrival, born at exit, alive on departure. Hard to get up from laying down, hard to stand up from sitting up. But you can bang and trigger me as you please. Soon I move away, my release from the trigger I lease. Bank of America says, imagine no recession. It's easy if you try, twisting the words of Lenin, mocking the words of Lenin. I say, imagine a dirtier 30s. It's a hard truth, you can't just try. I say, imagine no economic enslavement. It's easy if you try. Imagine no recession. Easy if you try. Imagine a greater depression. Hard if you do. Your AI is BS. It's artificial stupidity. AS. Horatius, vivacious ravens eating the ravenous. Even the crows are craven of this scare raven. Pop the cap of capitalism off the head of the apes. A black feather in your capitalism. Sing it for us, black brothers and sisters in their home of the night sky. No tie, always the Bowie bows. Bowie in barrels, smoking metal genocides. It's got a Bowie is like having a hemi. That's the hemisphere. Dot your I's and slash your T's and bow your Bowies. The ghost of David Bowie is cutting your lettuce. And the ghost of David Bowie is haunting rock and roll. No tie, always the Bowie bows. Bowie in barrels, smoking metal genocides. It's got a Bowie is like having a hemi. That's a hemisphere. Dot your I's and slash your T's and bow your Bowies and bow your Bowies. The ghost of David Bowie is here haunting rock and roll. Flash sales say whores, taking off their capitalism like it's a prophetic prophylactic. Lives may flash before thighs. When you small death die, flash drive. Best behind a wheel, flashing tights beside flashing lights. A flash from the camera, Flash Horden with the sexiest bad pubic hair day. Nature is waiting for the sullen conclave of termites for the wood of life to wooden deadened another Noah's Ark, to reach towards the waves of a Nestle Neptune. In outer space she waits as here below, all the same, no more the brave, to be a coward abandoning the earth's ship. Lash and clash of nature's whip, whether above or down below. Outer space, Mother Nature, she gonna take it far out in that void womb cocoon. You shall be transformed. Nowhere in that Bible does it say outer space is thine dominion. O humanity, the musk of the Bezos Noah cock rocket is redolent of space chicken bullfrog. Nature waits for the wealthiest exodus into outer space, these hairless apes. They think they've escaped, but fallen right into nature's fate. Well, I'll tell you a story of ayahuasca, shaman, and men. How the whiskey mystics and men pretend shaman never obeyed the twin snake endure. A microscope found what they forsake. Daylight lights your feverish fire of wisdom too soon. But the native knowledge is never too late to give an answer instead of a way. Well, I'll tell you a story of ayahuasca, shaman, and men. How the whiskey mystics and men pretend shaman never obeyed the twin snake. Under a microscope found what they forsake. Daylight lights your feverish fire of wisdom too soon. But the native knowledge is never too late to give an answer instead of a way. Stone Age, rock and roll, cave dives and lizard queens, she of the hairiest down below, twin snake at the lake, pterodactyl croons at the ancient moon, the land of the lizard, before the dawn of the apes. Reptilian dusk settles, the beginning of an establishment. The beginning of an establishment that could render the current one obsolete is the ugly enemy of a toxic authority. The end is the friend for those who need a quick solution. Corpses of freedom lay dead for the sake of freedom, but the corpse of liberty lays long ago dead. Dead is liberty, so those who ask to be given liberty rather than death have not liberty at option. This is the enemy, ugly enemy. It heals to set your trap. You'll never follow authority. The end of rock and roll, the end of nights. You tried to rebel. This is the end, ugly enemy, the end. Every end of rock and roll, the ugly enemy of all toxic authority put to death, locked behind bars of oppression, but reborn each time, partying is such sweet sorrow, emphasis on the parting, leaves to never have tomorrow. Rock and roll ghosts haunt the rock and rollist world. The end, beautiful friends, the 9 deaths of the lion of Lazarus. This hellish rock that rolls hides a boulder on a towering mountain summit, transforms little girls into patriarch domineering cougars. Avalanches, Liberty Boulder Dash. They may be but little girls, but you are small men, tiny to the eraser eyes of history. Boulder will avalanche, leaving small men as tiny boys, where rocks split in two, rolling over blues, so sad to make a lake. Nude women read books of vaginas, pages of lips licked to turn birth. Exponential inertia boulders on. Martyrs, shaman, and witches burnt at the stake. Death not ended, sacrifice not removed you, strange friends. In mutual agony, how a trying situation makes friends out of would-be enemies. The shaman, Jesus, Nietzschean Christ, and the witches of burnt steak, here now to end patriarchy, for godness' sake. Venerate this double snake or ruminate in sordid fate. Venerate this double snake or ruminate in sordid fate. Too sick, can't suck, ducks in a crow, murder of the gaggled degree, rooster, crow in the craw, comb without a pair, quack job, Mr. Dirty Piss, sick duckers wish, 2 suckers, roast a smoking hot rooster, cold wolves, eating hot dogs, blown job ducklings, sick duckers and mother truckers. This restless spirit, high strung on the end of the bottom of low, eternal longing, astral wanderlust, I cry, but don't know why. Drops of rain from inner storms wet the steel of my will. The slow fires of my wonder rust, eat away at my sharp cutting blade like blood fire. In a funerary pyre, this restless spirit moves like rattling bones submerged in quiet of soul. Spirit, unwind, unfold, unwind. Spirit, rest in waters of soul. Few sure future fate, 8, Adam's apple in the Eve, the jungle of Eden. Your own hell, our own heel. In the eve of the jungle of Eden, the well, hidden garden, Adamic guarded. Horticulturist, laying upon the bare earth, pain flaring into my body, focusing on the tiger, I stood once again. I staggered to eat my food. A bee touched my shoulder. Like a hand gently on the back, a witch walked by. I lay uncomfortably and in pain, feet upon the window like falling, and not knowing how to get up 'cause it hurt so bad, staring at a green and yellow dream catcher, waiting to painfully gate into the walk-in. I remembered the bee gently on the shoulder as a needle stabbed my skin, injecting Toradol, breaking the brooms like breaking bread, not bereft of the Krakenses, witch's splinter skin of the air, the black wind howls in air, staked at the burnt, those who once burnt at the stake, transubstantiation of salvation, forgiveness, graven, given, rip, sink of death, the words spelled, beyond breath, beyond right of red, which in birth justice tread, resent, revenge, and resend pity with a side of dogma, PMS, tampered on tampons, a man of pause, for the woman within, beyond fucking, born of slave resentment, beyond good and evil and good and bad, resent with new sentiment, resentiment left to the morality sentiment, sediment, the scale of the morality leaning to the worst bad, now knock it to the right, weight, calibration, at equilibrium of morality homeostasis. What morality is born from this death of tragedy and comedy, green, greed, screen, holographs, blue? Interrupting this teleprompt promptly, taking my anima to the midnight blue ball, so vengeful as to do it of excess, to speak of revenge, well, re-justice, my re-fairness with my re-impartiality. Insanity of urbanity, witches walk by, doing a sweep of all the directions. He who is too often named speaks of being a hunted witch, whilst the witches hunt him. The coming of the fall of autumn is no great fall at all, has no pride that goes before, scutters into the leaves, the greater fall of nature. The apple falls from the tree, but with Einsteinian reprieve.